Hi guys, Michael here from the Canadian Relic Hunters. As you can see, this is, well, it's not metal detecting, it's fishing. And as I said before, earlier this year, I'm gonna try to put a fishing clip in my detecting videos. And depending how thing goes, I might even put a fishing video once a week. Because I'm back in the country, my kayak is handy in the back shed, so let's do a fishing equipment show, part one. I was talking with Joel, I think, this winter, talking about fishing, and I saw that Joel did his equipment video. So I'm gonna do what's in my tackle box video, and maybe next week I'll do my fishing rod. I got lots of rods, but I only use like 3. And then, once I get my kayak out of the shed, I'll do a kayak video. And by then, fishing season will be open. And I'll start inserting clips. What I'll do, I'll put the first cast. I'll get in my kayak and paddle to my first good spot. I'll video that from beginning to end, so it'll be not a super long clip, but I'll try to find the best spot, drop my first cast, and see if I catch something. Usually on my first cast, I usually catch, I'd say, I don't know when I set the bar too high, but 9 out of 10 times I'll catch a fish on my first cast. So let's start. Let's get rid of this. This is all my grubs. These are just leftovers. I rarely throw my grubs away because I don't give them out. They're like $7 for a pack. This is, what's this? Oh, a little blankie. And I got a hot shot here. I don't know what that's doing in there. I keep all my grubs in here so it's sealed in case they smell. These are old. I got a whole bunch. It's all packed in there. I don't use them too often, but when I do, I have lots to choose from. Got worms, crawfish, salamanders, everything in there. Leeches. Take this for example. This pack, I swear, is like 15 to 20 years old. $5.95 on special. Anyways, so that's it for the grubs. I use this for Texas rigging, Carolina rig. That's about it. Before the little clips and the braided line came out, I used to use leaders all the time. These are my leaders. I got these big, thick leaders here. But what I do now, I like using these clips instead of leaders because I use braided line. Since I'm fishing out of my kayak, I can't afford to let the fish take my line out and wrap themselves around weeds. So when you're fishing in a kayak, you want to bring the fish in the boat as fast as you can. Well, without being stupid and losing it. There's always a way to do it. These are my hooks. You guys just started fishing, I recommend buying red hooks. In dark water, they look dark, but in clear water, especially pike see red and then they freak out. These are all trailer hooks. I like to use trailer hooks on my spinner baits. I'll show you later. These are like salmon hooks, but I love these. Let's say you're fishing for a big carp. Just wrap a worm. It seems like a small hook for a carp, but you just wrap and wrap and wrap the worm around it. So you can't see the hook anymore. You let the carp take it. Wait. Then set the hook. They always set good in the mouth the way they're shaped. They like curve and they turn when you pull and they hook in the nice thick part of the mouth. These are my Texas Carolina rig hooks. Weedless hooks. These Texas with the weight on the hook. tiny hooks if you want to fish for tiny catfish. This is, somebody gave me these. They say they're lucky hooks, but they're just gold hooks. Here's the big hook when I go out into town. So that's it for that. I keep my sinkers in here. Here's some Texas rig sinkers. Slip shot. Normal sinkers. Little doodads. This is when I make my Carolina rig. Weedless jigs. These are used. Jigs, hair jigs, trailer hooks. Sorry guys, but I want to show you everything. I like these jigs. Look at the eyes. Little bent hooks. Good jigs. They're not cheap. All jigs here. Don't want to leave these in the tackle box loose, because if your tackle box roll, you're in deep poo-poo. Everything's a mess. Like my box was. That's why I emptied it all out here. I had to do a little cleaning in there. This is a little Texas rig setup I already did. Texas rig is good when you're fishing really weedy water. Here's a weedless jig. I'll show you what I usually use when I fish. I'm old school and I like, my favorite lures are spinner baits. Meps, usually. Okay, fishing license, need to renew it. This is a thing, when you catch a pike, you put it in the mouth. Keeps the mouth open, but I don't suggest this for a big pike, because it doesn't matter, a big pike will shut their mouth no matter what. Did the mistake once of, hold on there, I'll unwrap this. Did the mistake of trusting this little thing, and the pike closed his mouth right on my finger, and as you know, their teeth are pretty sharp. Went through my finger without me even noticing it. So you put that in the pike's mouth, look, holds it open. Good for a small pike that's been hooked deep. I usually debar my hook so it's easier to remove. Fish chain. This is what you want for a big pike. When you're alone in the kayak, you have one hand on the rod and you can't really lip a pike. And if you try to grab him by the gills, you could do him some damage. So I'm not in the business of catching, killing, and releasing. So pull on this on the lower jaw, snap, hold it. Take care of the hook, take a picture, send him back on his way. Electrical scale, batteries out. This thing is like 25 years old, at least 20. Works great, pretty accurate. I weighed my mountain bike with this thing, it's pretty solid. Bear spray, I should put that in my detecting pouch. This is when you fish in the dark or fish with alcohol. Catfishing. I've learned with the years, only trust real tools to remove hooks. I like a nice solid pair of pliers. Long nose. Salmon eggs. These are pretty old too. I'd say a good maybe 10 years old. You've seen the knife. This is big though, you need to keep some small stuff. This is good for defense, but nothing like a nice little knife. Tool knife. Clippers, very important. Okay, now we're at the lures. Fishing nets and bobbers. I got my fish finder for my kayak. I have a setup for it. I'm probably gonna have to use it this year because the water is so muddy around here. I like to have an idea what the bottom is like, but it's a fast river, so I'm sure the bottom's nice and flat. Okay, let's start with the spoon. I like spoons for pike. Pike also like spinner baits, They'll pike. They like everything. As long as you jerk it, tease them with it, you'll drive them nuts and they'll bite it. These I don't usually use little lures like this. These are like Christmas gifts. Probably found this one. These are the weedless spoon Rapala came out with. They are really weedless. Very hard to get stuck or grab a weed and stuff. This is a weedless floater spoon. Good for the cattails and stuff. This is very old. One of my first weedless. Nice spoon. Favorite spoon for sure by far. This one makes a show in the water. When you reel it back, you jerk it. Drive the pike nuts. Red hooks, if you noticed. Love my spoons for pike. Sorry, I don't have a cold. I think it's my allergies. The Big Fox spoon, good for trolling, even though I'm not a big fan of trolling. I like to park myself and cast. That's what I call fishing. Big William spoon. Okay, let's do the inline spinners. This is for muskie. Big trailer hook on the bottom. It's pretty big. Put it beside the knife. These are like 25 bucks, so another reason why I fish with braided line. These are my favorite lures. This one might be my favorite for bass. Pike will eat this too. I like spinners because when you're used to it, if you notice it's all schmucked, that's because I've been catching a lot of fish with it and it's old. You can cast this, and when you think before you see your lure hit the water, you start reeling right away. So if it's shallow or weeds on the bottom, you won't get snagged. So I can fish this pretty much top water, go mid, go deep. It does everything. I like Mepps. Best inline spinners for sure. So these are usually I like this size, like number 5s. 4s are good, but I like the big lures. Okay, let's do the spinner baits. This is a big one, old. This is a trailer hook I put. You chop a tube up, slip the tube through the ring through the other hook, and you got yourself a trailer hook. Spinner baits are good. You can fish them shallow, deep, and they're pretty weedless. So they're hard to hook. So that's why I put a trailer hook on it. Little ones. I call this a little spinner, but I like it. This is the size I usually use. Same with spinner bait. When you fish, jerk, 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 jerk. Gives it more action. Freaks out the fish. If fishes are lazy, you'll probably lure them into biting your lure if you jerk your bait. These, I don't know why I put this there. They're pretty small, but I guess if you fish for crappie and stuff like that, don't use these much. These are my big O's. Crankbaits, as I said, spinners, inline spinners are my favorite. But if I go crankbait, I like my big O's. Especially these crawfish and the white with the red hooks. Really good. These are smaller. I usually fish with these bigger ones. Oh yeah, let's do the froggies. I like my frogs. These were my first ones I ever bought a long time ago. Rubber weedless frogs. Same here. I haven't fished with these too much. This is what I fish with. Look at these. They look real. This is like 12 bucks. Not cheap. I like this one. This one's like a Zara Spook. Total floater. You just lightly jerk it when you reel it back. It looks just like a frog. So those are my froggies. Rapalas or minnows. These, you jerk them around and you'll catch some fish. This is the one. I went fishing for muskie once, believe it or not. I thought I had weed on the back, so I reeled my line in. And when you're trolling, just don't reel it in, jerk it at the same time. Anyway, I jerked it when my bait was like 15 feet behind the boat. 8-pound pike, not pike, 8-pound muskie swallowed it, scared the crap out of me. So I'm 1 for 1. Pretty rare for muskie. I went out for muskie once and I caught one, so I was pretty happy. And for some reason, we didn't take a picture of it. I was so afraid to kill a muskie that I decided once it was unhooked, put it back in the water. Great looking fish, same as a pike, except they look like a tiger with the skin pattern on them. Shad wraps, got 3. I like these, they're pretty good. But I just caught myself. See, it's pretty good lure. Okay, deep divers. Like this one, reminds me of a big O. Like this one. Deep divers with the big tongue. These are nice because they suspend. They'll stay at the same depth. They won't even go up. Don't use those too much. This is an all-star one. Got lots of fish with it. I will be using this one. I'll jerk this one around this year. Don't use these much. Trolling. Good for trolling. Go very deep. Here's the crawfish. The best crawfish I got. Found this detecting, believe it or not. My loudest lure here, it's gotta be this one. Listen to this. I can't even walk the fishing spot with my tackle box, and the whole box is ringing with this lure. This one, I just bought it because it looked cool. It's good for trolling. Poppers, surface lures. This is a good popper. Very good. The original hula popper. Another good popper here. I'll use these on the videos. Show you how they work. Top water spinners. These are good for pike and bass. They make a whole bunch of noise and they just go on top of the water. Same here, another surface lure. Surface lure. One of the best surface lures. Joel, if you don't have one of these, you got one? That's a crazy crawler, I think. Yeah. So you pull it, the flaps open, so and then it goes. That's pretty good sound effects right there. It's exactly the sound it makes. So this is good. Top water lure, get one of these. Of course, the jitterbug's good also. But I do prefer the crazy crawler. Jitterbugs. Another top water lure you would like, is a Zara Spook. You can play the trigger here, and this lure is totally manual. You make it do what you want to do, depending what kind of twitch you make when you reel it in. I used to troll with this thing. You can set it up for deeper and shallow. Looks a lot like a perch, so good for pike. Here's my Wally diver. I think that's what you call this one. No, Wally minnow. I was close. Good for walleye. Goes deep and it suspends. Just you insert your soft baits in there. My father uses these all the time. I don't use them much. I found this one. I'm gonna try it this year. Okay, and these big suckers. Just so you can relate the size of them. Here, let's put a bobber beside it. It's huge. I'll show you the rod I use. If I don't use these often. Weighs a ton. This floats actually. This is like a Zara Spook, like this one. But yeah, this is for big pike or muskie. And this big sucker, yeah, looks good. Used it once. Need a big heavy rod for that. And oh, my light. Watch this. Hold on, guys. This light. Just crank it up. I know you've seen some of these before, but I'm still impressed with it. Put it on. Ta-da! Flashlight. No batteries required. Okay, so this is the tackle box video. As I said, when I go out fishing, I make sure I bring 2 or 3 MEPS. Lots of fishing clips, no leaders, because I fish with 60-pound braided line. 60 or 30? I think it's 30. Wah. But, so all of this was in that box. That's like Joel, I would call that my boat box. That's my kayak box. So when I go fish, I take a little bit of what I'm gonna need, put that in that box, and that's it. So that's it for the fishing. So I'll finally be able to put this away. I'll give you a glance of my fishing rods. Sorry if the place is a mess. I got lots of rods, but well, I've used them all. I just upgrade as I go. This is my big, for those big lures, I use this thing. Not much bend in it. But this one here is my kayak rod. I can't put the 2 pieces together. The ceiling's not high enough. And I got a high ceiling here. It's the 9.5 foot rod. Perfect for kayaking. Anyway, so that's it. And next week I'll get more into rods, but it won't be as long a video, so I'll include it in my detecting video. Okay, guys. So that's it. I'm looking forward to go fish too, but looking forward to go back, see if I can get another fish scale at the ballpark Saturday morning. They're calling for a great weekend. Rain, it's still raining out right now. It finally gets finished with the rain. People are flooding near Ottawa. We're okay here, but feel bad for those people. Anyways, have yourself a good Friday. Well, I'm probably not gonna air this. Well, I might put it on tonight when I get back from work at 11 o'clock. Working 4 till 11 tonight. Okay, guys. If you want, like and subscribe. Love you all. And we'll see you this weekend. Bye for now.